All right, so thank you guys for coming to our instant decision day meeting. It's going to be very short and sweet. And then when we're done, we're done. And then if anybody still wants to ask any questions after that, because I know it'll be towards the end of the period, you can do so. All right. So glad you guys signed up. Please talk to your other friends, foes, or associates that did not sign up today. There's going to be one more of these for the period at 1 o'clock. And then if not, I will send out this recording. I'm not going to do the meeting again because we got to move on to the next thing. That's why I record them. People always ask me to record them, but then they never watch them. But whatever, none of my business, right? So you guys are here for our instant decision day meeting. So every school does not have an instant decision day. There are some colleges that are either trying to diversify their campuses, or maybe they're trying to get more rural students, or maybe they're trying to get more students from another state, or whatever the case may be. So we usually have about 12 to 15 colleges come here and do an instant decision on the spot admissions. And so pretty much if you do that on the spot admissions, it gives you an early boost in regards to colleges that you may have to wait until the spring to hear back. So for those of you who may be applying to like some Ivy League colleges or highly selective colleges where maybe they only take 20% or 25% of their students or less, you usually won't hear back from them until like April or March or maybe February. Okay, so it's nice to kind of have at least a couple of acceptances under your belt while you're waiting. Most of the schools, if not all of them that are on this list, are colleges that are maybe somewhat selective, or they may have an 80 or 90% acceptance rate, but you still may have to wait until like, December or January. So pretty much what happens is they'll do an interview with you guys here, it'd be like 5 to 15 minutes. It'd be very casual. And to be honest, most of the time, they're asking you questions or telling you things about the school. So when they come in for the meeting, because I'm looking at the screen, they used to tell you that you received some scholarship money, but they don't really do that anymore. But if your GPA is super high or fits some kind of a special scholarship that they have that you can't apply for, but they have to recommend you for, they will let you know that they recommended you for that particular scholarship. The first one that's coming up, as you saw on the spreadsheet, is Kutztown University. It's going to be on Monday. Kutztown does have what's called a Board of Governors scholarship. And so if your GPA is usually around a 3.8 or higher, you can be eligible for their full tuition scholarship, which means that tuition means how much it costs to be educated at that school. So then you would just have to come up with your room and board and fees, or house it in your meals and the fees. But depending on how much money you get in financial aid, we'll have the financial aid conversation at another time. Some of you may end up not having to pay anything to go to Kutztown, or very little if you receive that particular scholarship. So they'll tell you those things. All right. So you guys are going to have to sign up for those interviews. So you guys filled out that Google form for me, right? And so the Google form, you're putting down what schools you're interested in, yes or no. If it's a maybe or you're not sure, just click yes. You'll get the link, and then at the time of it, you can still sign up for an appointment. And if you change your mind and you don't want to do it, then just simply either cancel your appointment or just let me know that you don't want it. Because some of those schools you haven't had time to really research and look at, right? But the first one is going to be Kutztown on Monday. So you would have to go ahead and send in your application. So I believe Kutztown is on the common application. So when you do those colleges on the common application, they don't have to all be ready at the same time. If you're finished Kutztown, you just send that one in. Or you can go on their website and do their application. It should be pretty easy. They have a fee waiver code. The fee waiver code is GOLDEN in all caps, GOLDEN. Okay, so you're going to do your application ahead of time. It needs to be sent in ahead of time, at least by Wednesday or Thursday of this week. Please do not wait until Monday to do the application, which is what at least half people do. Or some people go, oh, I have to do an application? Yeah, you have to do an application, right? So try to get it done. It's an easy application. So get it done ahead of time, because what happens is they have what's called a download. Every college has what's called a download in their computer. And if you do it the day of or Friday, sometimes it might not be in there and they're not going to see it. And so what happens is you're going to go to the meeting, you're going to talk to them, and then they're not going to be able to give you a what that day? and acceptance because you didn't apply yet.
So you're saying we could either do it on their website or on Common App?
Yes. Yep. So the Common App one, you definitely want to do that ahead of time just so it can have time to download and they can pull that off for you.
So
Okay?
you would just add cookies down to the your colleges?
Mhm. Yep, and you don't have to have the other ones done first. You just do them as you go. Okay? So you want to make sure that you do that. There are limited slots. So for right now, all of the instant decision days, I have them blocked out on my calendar from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. But I usually start the appointments in the middle of that range. And then if I see people are taking up the slots, then I'll start adding to the beginning and the end because I don't want a whole bunch of empty blocks of time in the middle. Okay? So that way we can accommodate everybody who's in AM Tech and PM Tech and we'll go over the lunches and everything. So you just pick a time to stop during your lunch, or if you don't do lunch, you can pick it at that time. Okay. Each school has a separate criteria. So some of them may say that you have to have a 3.0 or a 3.2 or a 2.3 and above. So I forgot to send them the link to give that criteria, but this is pretty much the same college from last year. So I'm just going to send you the one from last year. It's pretty much going to be the same. And then if they update it, I'll go in and update that information. So I'll send it out to you when I send out the email. Okay. So for the time slot, once I see who signed up for Kutztown for this week, I will send you a sign up genius for you to pick your time. Okay. And then for all the other colleges that you pick, I'll send you out for that one and whoever picks the school that's on the 30th. Which one was that? That was I forget which one that is, but whoever picked the ones on the 30th, I'll go ahead and send you the links for both of those. You won't get them until about 2 or 3 weeks beforehand because I want to make sure I'm not giving you too many things at once. The interviews will take place in the College at Career Center. I will be in there with you. Okay. They're going to be very informal. Nobody's going to be sitting there with glasses on at the edges of their noses, judging you like this, right? Just a regular conversation. Okay. All right. So to prepare, you want to make sure again that you have that application done at least 5 days before the interview. You want to make sure that all the components are complete. Some of them you just have to do the application and that's it. I will send them the transcripts. Some of them may want your letters of recommendations either loaded into Common App or worst case scenario, you can send them to me, or if I have them, I can send that information to them. If there's some type of an essay that needs to be done, they want that as well. Please make sure you give your teachers at least 2 weeks to do a letter of recommendation for you, right? We're still gonna wait till the last minute to do it, but we still want 2 weeks to get it done. Any essay that you have, you want to have someone look over your essay. I mean, of course, your friend can look at it, but you want to have like an English teacher or somebody like that to look over, just to make sure your essays in general are correct. I can look over them, but please don't have me be your final person because I'm in love with commas, and you have a bunch of commas and stuff in your the essay. Now I can screen it and tell you if you're on the right track, if your flow is good. Like Dustin and I went over one of his essays a couple of times, but then after we did that part, he had his English teachers polish everything up and move some stuff around because that's not my forte. But I'm pretty decent at editing them and kind of helping you come up with the hook and all that kind of stuff. And that's important too. On your essays, we're not doing, hi, my name is Jonathan. I attend Norristown Area High School. I'm a senior. Well, we know you're a senior, and you put the name at the top of your paper, right? Hi, my name is Lisa. I go to Norristown Area High School. I'm a nice person. Maybe, maybe not, right? You want something that's really creative. You know, it doesn't have to be like the best essay ever in life, but you just want something that people are going to be interested in reading. Okay. So, for instance, I was at the Philadelphia College Fair on Saturday, and the student came up to the table to ask a question because I was at the counselor table about how to do their essay. So the student wanted to do their essay on homeopathic medicine, right? That could be a snooze fest, or it could be really interesting, right? So I asked a bunch of questions. We talked about like how you became interested in medicine, how old were you what happened. So we started talking about hospitals and where the family is from and how, from their country, they, um, homeopathic is really big and all that kind of stuff, especially in their family. Then they told me they had some kind of burn on their head. They had to go to the hospital all the time to get this burn check. And then they will always observe what was going on in the hospital while they were there. And that's how they became interested in homeopathy. So we sat there and pretty much came up with all of the components really of that essay. And so for the hook, we said, well, we talked about the burn on your hand. So, you can begin your essay with, I'm really tired of looking at this burn on my hand. So if you saw that as your first sentence, wouldn't you be interested to find out how they burn their hand? Right, so you want to keep reading. So just something like that, right? So make sure that your essay looks interesting and somebody wants to read it. It does not have to be 5 paragraphs. They don't do 5-paragraph essays in college. So get your point done and be out. We don't have to write 1,000 words. We don't have to be eternal to be effective, right? But at the same time, we're not going to do 2 little bitty paragraphs either. So just do a little something, something. Your transcripts, I will send your transcripts for you, okay? All right. So we want to make sure we got that. The day of, relax. Again, they're very informal. Your meetings are going to be between 5 to 15 minutes. That's it, 5 to 15 minutes. And again, they're going to ask you more questions than you ask them. Maybe come up with 3 questions that you have written down on your paper. Don't ask softball questions like how many students do you have at the school. That's something that you can find on the first page of the website. But ask something that you really want to know. Dress to impress. You don't have to wear a suit. You don't have to wear a full dress, but please look nice. Please wear something that you will wear to your award ceremony or a wedding or, somewhere. We're not coming in with wet hair. We can do that for school. We're not doing that for the interview. We're not coming in with hoodies on. We're not coming in with our hair all over the place. Like people can have their hair all over the place, but it looks like organized chaos, right? As opposed to, we can tell you got bed head on this side because it's flat on this side and there's over here on the other side. Just make sure that you put some time into your appearance, okay? You want to make sure that you come at least 5 minutes early, and we'll have you kind of sitting in the waiting area. It'll be in my room and I'll close the door, and then we'll walk you out so you don't have to worry about other people sitting there staring at you wondering what happened. I will also look at the criteria for each college and screen your transcripts before I send in that information. So if I see that you don't meet the criteria, which that doesn't happen too often, that you don't meet the criteria for the school, I will let you know ahead of time, right? And I'm not going to schedule you. However, if I do have space left and you still want to have that interview and maybe you're kind of close, or maybe you just want to have a conversation with the rep, I still will give you an appointment. And sometimes I've been wrong. And I don't mind being wrong if it's in your favor. And so sometimes they may say, oh, we'll hold on to your application. Let's see your first and second marking period grades, right? Or they may say, well, I'm going to give you an acceptance, but you have to come to the summer program first. And then if you do well in the summer program, we can get you started in the fall. So I'm not going to set you up for any type of embarrassment, but I'm still going to give you an opportunity to talk to them if we do have space for that. Okay. So I didn't clean this up in the last session. So you guys already saw the list of schools that are on there. Some of these came in, the QR code will come up at the end. So Immaculata is going to be there, Lincoln University, Kutztown, Bloomsburg, which is part of one of the clusters, Shippensburg, East Stroudsburg, Alvernia, Winnet Mercy, Moravian, Delaware State, Commonwealth University, Chestnut Hill. I know I just saw East Stroudsburg on here 12 times, and Widener. Okay. There's another school that came to our college fair on Friday that's interested in coming, but we have to have a conversation to see if we even think that she's going to have enough interested students to sign up for hers. Some random schools may pop in later, and I'll let you know if that pops up. And that's pretty much it. Westchester is pending. I doubt very seriously they're going to do it because they didn't do one last year. They don't really have a problem with applications. So, and then Centenary, they want to do one with you, so they came into the fair. So if you guys just came in, hit this QR code and fill out the link that's at the very, very top. It has all of the colleges that are doing the instant decision date and the dates. So for those of you, again, who signed up for Kutztown today, I'm going to send you the Kutztown link today, and I'm going to send you, let me see who I have left. and Delaware Valley University. So I'll send those 2 links out today, just so you'll have time to go ahead and sign up. I just have to clean those up really quickly. Okay? And even at the last minute, if you hear of one and you didn't sign up for one, just go back in. You can fill out the form again if you want to, because what I'll do is I'll just look at your most recent entry and just delete the old one. Okay? All right. Questions?
What if you don't have your, the papers you get from the teachers, like
There's a recommendation. You got 2 options. One, if they're in Naviance, I can download those and send them on your behalf.
or what if I haven't asked any teachers?
Okay, well, you need to hurry up and ask them. You gotta hurry up and ask.
You know, we can reuse that for speech.
You can use any letter of recommendation that you want. And I'm gonna end the video now because I don't want it to be too long. And then I'll just keep answering whatever questions. Thank you guys for coming.